All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got your watch list coming into June 17th, 2019. We have a awesome Monday in store, but next week is going to be crazy. So to give you a background into this title we have here, this would be the black swan of the week, but it is now being speculated by a few economists and, talking heads in suits that the Fed could crash the market this week if they make a decision. So let's talk about what the main things are going to happen this week. I have a bunch of plays to go over. We're going to look at specific options, look at specific plays, and even the news plays we saw from last week, but then talking about how we're going to set this up, because really it's either going to be Monday and Tuesday is going to be wild, or Thursday and Friday. I kind of want to push it towards the latter end and say we're going to get a more exciting Thursday, Friday, because this is what the big event is. We are having the Fed interest rate decision on Wednesday. So the Fed is going to meet up. We're going to have the J. Powell press conference right after. The Fed is even going to give economic outlook, but as well this week, which could also speed up or slow down any of the movements. We're also going to get the Bank of Japan, and that's, they're going to either cut or do all that. Same situation, just other countries. And again, that sets up a outlook for the rest of just the global world and how everybody is viewing rates when it comes down to it. They even got their balance of trade for Japan, and then we're also going to get the Bank of England. So all those are going to be important this week. But now to give you guys the explanation, and again, too, you guys could always go to tradingeconomics.com, check out the calendar here, and it explains, what we got, because we have a lot of stuff. We are going to, watch the Japanese yen, watch the Chinese yuan, and watch the dollar, but I'm very, very focused on the dollar. Even again, what happens with oil. Again, I'm not going to show it just now because I think during the later of the week, but regardless of what events, I still want a piece of bombshell news. However, the Fed meeting on Wednesday will either keep markets where they're at, or that will be a saving grace or the nail in the coffin, more or less. But essentially, nothing should really happen this week, but this could be the black swan, and this is what could crash the markets. Essentially, like we've talked about in some of the last videos, the Fed is not expected to raise rates or cut rates on this decision. They're going to keep it the same thing, assess, the global climate and everything. And then in June and then in July, the markets and the bonds are pricing in rate cuts. And then even, everything after that, they're pricing in some pretty big rate cuts now. But what people are talking about, what could happen Wednesday, I said this earlier, and, there's two levels to look at it. One is I believe news could develop, and again, the market coming into the Fed might be, it could either come down or it could stay up, and then the Fed happens, and then people don't like it, and then that could push a reaction, or the market could start moving this week up until Wednesday, and if oil makes a big jump, if the market comes back down here or here, and Powell has to make a decision, that's going to be a much more meaningful decision. But pretty much the biggest thing that people are saying right here is that despite the Fed not expected to cut rates here, and it's priced in July, some people are saying the Fed just might go ahead and do a quick move right away. So if that occurred, if this Wednesday, pretty much what's happening is even the bonds pricing and everything, nobody is expecting a move. No one is expecting anything besides staying the same. So let's say we did get what they're expecting is an overly dovish Fed. They cut rates somehow. Again, the odds and everything, it's so unlikely, but people are really seriously speculating on this right now because they're saying it could either be another policy mistake, or given what's going on, if the Fed really sees what's going on, they might want to speed up the protection on the economy and, start raising aggregate demand and cut those rates. But if that happens, I think that will be the black swan, and that can have a really big effect on the market. But even then, after the Fed has the meeting, I think that is going to give us a lot of stuff to look forward to and to watch as it reacts. So keep your guys' eyes out for that, and do not forget two very, very important things. One, you need to drop a like on the video, but more importantly, make sure you post your watch list below. Post any of the 3 stocks minimum that you're watching, or if you're watching one, whatever, it doesn't matter. Make sure you're live, youtube.com/the stock market. We're live 30 minutes before open. I should be on there bright and early tomorrow. The antibiotics are kicking in. We're ready to go. And again, this week is going to be excited, and I'm very, very excited to see how it plays out. But I'm not going to get too jumpy and get cucked like some people did last week on the GC. And hopefully you guys saw how that got to play out. But let us get to the plays, and then we'll jump into the options to watch right at open. But tomorrow, Facebook, again, it's doing what it normally does. when there has been one of those big drops. But pretty much don't forget, they had 2 or 3 bad days of news. The week prior had bad days of news. It was already edging off a little bit lower. Don't let Facebook fool you, because at the end of the day, it's only bounced to equilibrium kind of right here. So watch as it gets to that level. It could hang out and get pinned there, but I think Facebook is still in play along with Google as well as Amazon. But more importantly, I will take a special focus on Facebook, as opposed to Amazon or Google, but they're in the same place. I still also like the Google as well. It does look, again, a little bit weaker, but I think Facebook, the news that's happened, truly unique. And even Apple, because if we do get any more antitrust situations or cases or developments in those cases, that's going to have a pretty big effect. And we see, how Apple and everything else has responded with it, but Apple and Google are the ones to really take a hit. But I think Facebook is going to get some exposure on any of those negative headwinds politically. So watch that. Next, I like Verizon. We got some calls on it last week. I'm still liking it. Again, it's just, watch the reaction that it's going to do. Verizon has just been making big moves, and I said this on the webinar or the live stream. If you could kind of take the charts, you could see, but Verizon's moving in big candles. This is a stock that should not be moving like this. Verizon, AT&T, and even, the rest of the companies like Dish, T-Mobile, Sprint. There's so much movement in mergers in this space and all this stuff going on. These are big moves on low volatility stocks, especially now coming with a market decline or volatility that's causing that rotation. So I like Verizon, and even those are related to the deals, but on the same lines of the value stocks, Home Depot and McDonald's. So these are going to be really, really good ones. McDonald's is still holding. It looks solid. I like that. But again, look at Home Depot. It's kind of trailing McDonald's. So that's going to be an awesome one. I will probably look at that one for the options, but I know the options could get expensive on Home Depot. So just be very, very cautious with it. But lastly, our favorite TLT. I'm surprised it ended up dropping, but when it started to gas up here, it was really looking like what it kind of should have. So you guys are even seeing here with April how things have played out. And if we even go back in time, it just still kind of reminds me of this right here. A couple up days here, and then watching it blast off into that January or that November, January. Or November, December that we were looking at. So keep your guys' eye out for that. But TLT in general, that is going to be our stock representation of bond rates and everything like that. But I got a nice play in it. I'm keeping my eyes out with that, along with Yang as well. This is the Chinese ETF, and then DRIP, which is the oil ETF. And we got some calls on that, and we're pretty up. We did a butterfly with some exposure to the top. That's been working out pretty nice. But to the last chart in our final companies, Disney. This was a killer one, so this could even be a good inverse up or down, but I kind of am bullish on it. Watching it here, I think it'd be good, but watch for any crazy breakouts. This is a very important level. The move they had on Thursday, I don't think that could be ignored, and don't let Friday throw you off. And as you're seeing here, these are divergences. That's the S&P. You're seeing individual names not hold up there. So this is what I want you guys to be calling out tomorrow. And if you guys aren't familiar, we're live 30 minutes before open. Contribute and post plays. This is what we want to see. I'd love to share this stuff with you guys, so if you could use it and bring it back to the chat to contribute, help everybody out, it's awesome. But this is what you want to be looking for. You see how the market stayed there the last 4 days. Look at the companies that have been going up or down. You look at Apple. That's telling you something. They slipped and they closed up, but they kind of even diverged. Facebook, you could kind of see, or is Facebook kind of staying at that same price, a little bit. You could do it and take a look, but watch Disney. I really like that. That even leads to the next place, same logic, Netflix. So you guys remember, we posted this at the beginning of the week last week. So although we had the GC, this was one of the only plays I really took. We shorted it around 366. It's down to 330 now. So like I said, this chart looks like a cuck on the 100 days, but if you're getting the right timing, we caught a $30 move right there, and that's nothing to really balk at right there. So I like that a lot. But keep your eye on Netflix. Same thing still exists, but again, I like Disney on the positive side. I like Roku as well. Now again, you're watching the divergence, but there's Roku. Watch what happens when we overlay it with Netflix. You're really seeing the difference. So I want to see if there's any divergence, if Roku does catch up or not. But even then, Roku could be a great play here. Still holding above 102, even if it does come down now, because it has been some time it's been up. So we could maybe see some downside here on Roku. So keep your guys' eyes out for that. And then last but not least, I still love this play. We got killed on that weekly, but we actually did very good. We just got greedy and it closed just shy of it. But don't forget about Beyond. We got a whole nother week with this. I'm really excited. Same logic as last week is going to apply, so we're gonna get straight to it. Keep your eyes out with it and just be smart, you guys. Be smart. And again, the more time you give it, the more it's going to benefit you guys on the option chain. Push it to the wall. Be patient. Give it time. And again here, if you guys don't burn your money. If you have money when the opportunities hit, and when you could push it to the wall, or you only got to make one good play. So stop trying to find how you're going to hit 10, 20 plays in a row. Most people don't have that ability to be right 20 times. Just really snipe and get right once or twice. That's it. Go 1 out of 2 times and make sure the winners are bigger than the losers. But to wrap this up, let's get to the option chain. Right off the bat, they had a weird drop at opening or close on Friday. But again, the big moves we saw the week before, I think that was on Wednesday, I believe. Yeah, and then how it's kind of played out, it's still edging lower, and it didn't do a Facebook or a Boeing where they held it up, but watch the put side here again. The options are going to be decent. I'm going to be looking at, the weeklies could be one thing if we get volatility this week, but we might want to aim to those Wednesday or Thursday or Friday after we get the Fed meeting, but watch the Julys. Even again, the same push it to the wall strategy on the weeklies. I just want something in the money. So we did make a play on Johnson & Johnson, but being a slow mover, your key is you want to try to get as close to the money on this play. So watch out for that, and I like the option chain. Again, look at the weeklies right there. Come over here, even on the July. Why does Josh Answers like this option chain, you guys? I'm trying to give you some practical lessons that you could learn, and again, that you could watch and see consistently used over time. It's on the option chain. The puts are down, the calls are down. Change closes negative red. Go watch the video we got on the channel discussing that, but that is creating an opportunity. So I really like that. That means premiums did go high. So this is saying there's an opportunity, but it's also telling you to be careful. It is going to be a little bit more challenging. I like Disney, so we talked about that. Again, be careful of these. This is what I want to highlight. Be careful of July options. These are $5 increments. You go to the June, these are $1 increments. So notice, from 141 to 146, that's $160 down to $50, and that's on the June. But go to July, you're probably like, wow, one strike difference goes from $100 to $50. That's the same $5 difference. So you're really going and making big moves on strikes. So make sure you guys are paying attention to that. But I do like Disney. I think that'll be a great one. And last but not least, FedEx. So this one's going to be all over the place. And again, it's kind of on the shorter term, but even on the longer term ones as well, we kind of see the effect. These went up a little bit, and again, it has shifted all over the place. Usually it's because the gap ups and gap downs, but I don't know where FedEx is going to go. I'm not really bearish or bullish. I guess I was more bearish on it. I don't know. I want it to go up at the same time, but it's important. It's related to transports. We want to see how transports are going to react with the market, but the options are going to provide a very good value. They're here at 34 to 40% implied volatility. Wait till that changes and drops, and we'll be able to make a opportunity or make a play on that, hopefully very, very soon. But again, I wish I could be more confident on it, but that is pretty much it, my friends. So you better be there in the morning. You better drop your like on the video. You better post your watch list and get ready. Get in the game. I'm really hyped for next week, so I hope you guys are too, feeling a lot better. So get your rest, stay hydrated, and let's go!